Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Ball Punyon. Join us tonight on Channel 6.02 News as we take an inside look on the world's water crisis.
That's right, Ball. Last week we covered the origins and science behind waterboarding, but in this week's report we'll make the splashes wetter and the live coverage better. Let's join our in-house reporters for the briefing. Right now, the UN shows us over 2 billion people lack access to safely managed sanitation and drinking water. A lack of healthy water can lead to many health, poverty, education, and sanitation issues. An installation of safe water systems will allow people to spend more time on education.
Women in certain parts of India spend about 6 hours a day just collecting water, trapping them in a cycle of poverty. Many African countries have countdowns to the day they run out of water, day zero, including Cape Town, South Africa, which we'll see tonight.
I'm down here in Cape Town where the entire city seems to be resting on the brink of disaster. Already today, you can see how hundreds of people are lined up at these designated water supply stations, preparations for a day zero that is inching ever closer. This all came about because of an extreme drought, and the reservoir that feeds the city is at nearly 20% of its full capacity. But what can be done to solve this ever-growing crisis? We had our undercover specialist, Farmer Ross, go inside a top-secret government laboratory to find out.
Undercover Specialist Farmer Brost here to take the road less traveled. I'm here to get an interview with scientist Mr. X. Now tell me, Mr. X, what are you doing to solve this water crisis?
Our scientists have been working around the clock to develop a better way to desalinate or remove salt from seawater. This option will be very viable in coastal cities.
And what's wrong with the current method?
As of now, desalination works on a molecular level. Water is sent through a membrane with microscopic holes which pressure, forcing the water through the membrane, while leaving the salt behind. This process is known as reverse osmosis and yields water that is free of salt. However, these membranes are susceptible to corrosion and can clog easily to certain elements. These membranes are not the only problem, however, due to the fact that the entire system requires an enormous amount of power to operate.
Thank you, Mr. X. We'll see you next time on Undercover Specialist.
We're back, and here I have Neil Bai, professor at Harvard. Tell me, Dr. Bai, what are your thoughts on desalination?
I believe that the best way to desalinate is with electrodialysis, as it is much more efficient by using ion exchange membranes to remove salt ions from the water using an electrical current. This means that the amount of power used is directly proportional to the level of salt within the water and can be adjusted. This way, if there isn't a high concentration of salt within the water, the overall power consumption will be low. Electrodialysis pumps also last longer due to lower power consumption, meaning there's a lesser burden on the machine.
I see. How could this help coastal cities like Cape Town?
I envision a future where the world's water supply is powered by desalination, and the worries of losing all our fresh water will become a thing of the past.
Thank you, Neil Bai. Back to you in the studio. This is us signing off.
Forever Newsman here, Ball Punyon. We're here in Cape Town, home to many rich people, but not a lot of water. Right here we have Franklin Bobbert von Stefan Augustus III, a resident of Cape Town. What are your thoughts on desalination in day zero?
Well, personally, I find the entire ordeal a load of hogwash. All of these citizens not conserving water is shameful. I dare say they should be kicked out.
How are you conserving water in your $1 billion mansion during the midst of this crisis?
I'm glad you asked. I used to take 3 showers a day, but now I only take 2. Also, instead of watering my lawn on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I water it on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Well, sir, you're still wasting a lot of water.
Ridiculous! Get off my property now, you charlatan!
We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, during the hours 4 to 8, 12 to 1, 5 to 7, 11 to 12, you may know me as your average news reporter. But during those other hours, I actually work at this local water plant. It may surprise you to know that I have quite a bit of knowledge about desalination stored in my head. I'm quite smart. Anyways, desalination plants are extremely expensive to build and maintain. The cost of power alone is barely above the profit margins. Scientists are working on reducing these costs by using their solar-powered plants, like the ones in California. Anyways, I've got to get back to my shift. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this special report and understand more about water and the world around us.
Join us tomorrow for an exclusive report on recreational nuclear bombs and how they will affect your morning commute.
I'm Ball Punyon.
And I'm Burt Reynolds.
This has been 5 Minutes on Channel 6.02. Thanks for joining.